Don't worry, Sam, I got it.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Nvidia situation. So, if you don't know what's occurring, they released their DLSS5, and it looks like absolute ass cheeks. It looks like complete dog shit, and it makes me want to vomit. So first, I'm going to put the video of my reaction. Okay, look, the original game looks just fine. I've played it before. What is this? What is this shit? It looks like fucking ass. Bro, they fucking ruined Leon's face. What is this shit, bro? What is this? It doesn't look good. Apparently, this guy's supposed to be 15. They made him look like a guy in his mid-30s. And it looks fucked up. It makes the image look super fucked up. This one's not that bad. I mean, it still looks like shit, but it's not that bad. But the worst offender, I am going to say, is this one. This one, it looks so fucking bad. You can see, like, fragmentations in their fucking faces if you look, like, really closely. And, like, pixelation around their faces. It's so weird, it's so off. Like, why? Why? They really thought this was a good idea to release this video. And yeah, you can see from my reaction, I think it looks like absolute fucking dog shit. And everybody on Twitter is fucking shitting on it. So I'm gonna look at some tweets right here. So this comes from Tom Warren. DLSS5 looks like Gen AI for video games. Grace looks completely different with DLSS5. Yeah, and that was my reaction too. It looks so fucking off. Because with Resident Evil, it's supposed to have a certain style. But the AI makes it look like fucking dog shit. It makes it look way too realistic. It makes it look like supermodel. It looks super off-putting. And here, this is where I got the part where he's 15. He says, I can't get over the faces with DLSS5. This is supposed to be a 15-year-old student. And he looks, like I said, he looks like a 35-year-old man. What were they thinking? So P. Jiggles responds to the video, and it says, if I was Capcom, I'd sue Nvidia for somehow managing to make Leon look like shit. And yeah, they made him look like fucking dog shit. They took away his aura. They took away his masculinity to make him look like a fucking Renaissance painting on steroids and shit. This guy compares two pictures, and yeah, it really doesn't look good. The AI makes it look way too off. It looks like those old horror pictures and like creepypastas. This one guy says it's like motion smoothing, but it also ruins images. And like, it already ruined images, right? But it makes it even look more like shit. Somebody else responds saying, disappointing, Capcom even approved this. Arceum has the best character models of this generation so far, and that's true. It really does. It has amazing looking graphics. It runs amazingly as well. You can run that game at over 100 FPS and it looks fucking spectacular. I did that and it looks amazing. My favorite response is from Maximilian Dude. He says, huge supporter of AI upscaling as it's different than the Gen AI horseshit, and we need to distinguish the two as different things. And he says, oh, what is this? And he responds with a gif from Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, it looks like shit. It looks like absolute shit. It looks like if you put those AI videos and then just plop them in the game. That's basically what it looks like, but like 10 times worse, because you can actually see more issues around the fucking character models. Apparently, Nvidia made a response saying, important to note, with this technologically advanced, game developers have full detailed artistic control over DLSS5's effects to ensure they maintain their game's unique aesthetic. The SDK includes things like intensity, color grading, and masking off places where the effects shouldn't be applied. It's not a filter. DLSS5 inputs the game's color and motion vectors for each frame into the model, anchoring the output in the source 3D content. But it looks like a filter. That's the problem. And Max even says, hey, don't buy this. They did a full demonstration and revealed the way it was because they thought it looked great. If it looked bad, they would have just waited to have the devs show off how good it could look. Gen AI isn't here to produce art. It's tricking you into thinking it is. And yeah, that's the point. It's trying to trick you. But obviously it's not working because it just looks awful. It looks horrible. And then Max responds to another guy saying, it's not like I don't believe them. The issue is we have eyes. And this Gen AI look has been around for a while. Everything has the same visual sheen. It all begins to blend together and has zero identity. It just looks like shit. And yeah, I've been saying that multiple times, like throughout the entire video. And so a bunch of people are just making a bunch of shit posts about it. HypeX made my favorite one where it shows like a pixelated picture of Obama and it turns him into a white guy. So yeah, that's the best one. And Digital Foundry had a pretty interesting take where they were just fucking like glazing it. It was so off.
I think our first point of contact was this particular image of Resident Evil Requiem, where we saw this sequence here. So that's the original past-facing version that you're seeing there, and then kind of like the DLSS5 take on it. Oliver, what do you think of this? Because this is like quite extraordinary. We honestly, when we saw this for the first time, we didn't know actually what DLSS5 was.
Yeah, this just blew me away. So basically you have Grace there in this scene. This is kind of a very famous scene from the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
And obviously the path traced render has a great lighting detail, but then they swap over to DLSS5. The first thing that I think sticks out to anyone here is the fidelity and realism in Grace's face. And it's almost like we've integrated a grab bag of graphical techniques here in one fell swoop. Grace's skin has a much more convincing specular response with quickly diffused specular highlights. Her hair is lit more realistically as strands closer to her scalp are occluded more heavily. Her eyes now have perfect specular highlights and they appear much more realistic and lifelike, I would say. And when you're looking at things like the specular response in her jacket, those things are much more true to life as well.
Yeah, man, the lighting makes her look ultra realistic, dude. It's so cool. It makes her look super lifelike. And it looks kind of terrifying. Like I said earlier, it makes her look like a damn supermodel. Looks like she came out of a photo shoot in like 2005. It really doesn't look that good. It takes away like the actually good lighting. It takes away the actual good textures of the original game.
I would say the lighting in the background is also considerably enhanced, especially when you look at elements like this lamp post here. Where in the DLSS5 view, it looks much more convincingly reflective, like a real lamp post would behave in wet weather conditions. I think the kind of apparent aesthetic changes to Grace's face here will perhaps be most controversial, but throughout the other demos that we saw and the other shots that we saw in these games, I wasn't seeing nearly as much of a difference in terms of that DLSS5 view of the character relative to a ray traced or path traced view of the same character.
Man, these comments are so crazy. Like a real lamppost would behave. Yeah, I hope sure it behaves like a lamppost. I sure hope it stands still. I get that they say in the rain. It's just such a funny comment to just say that. Not a context, it sounds like 10 times funnier. And he says, oh, there's gonna be some controversy and some talk about Grace's face. Yeah, I wonder why. Because it doesn't make her look like how she's supposed to look originally. It really doesn't. And the lighting in the background doesn't look that much better. It really does not. The original looks so much better than the actual AI one. And I'm being totally honest. I am being totally on God. It really does not look great. The DLSS one looks horrible. And then he says that it doesn't look that much different than the path tracing and some of the face and stuff. No, it looks significantly different. I don't know what they're seeing. I don't know if they have like different eyes. I don't know if it's because they're older. I genuinely don't know what it is. It looks significantly different.
They still look a lot better when we put DLSS5 on. I mean, they look a little bit uncanny, I would say, but definitely the overall portrayal of those characters is much more sophisticated.
It looks a little uncanny, and then the picture looks damn terrifying. The shadows look off, the face looks way too realistic. That's the problem with this, and I think more people should know if they don't really see the issue with this. Ace looks like shit. That's basically why everybody's making fun of it. That's why I'm making fun of Digital Foundry for this. A little unsettling, and it looks like a creepypasta picture from 2009, okay? It really doesn't look good. It looks terrible. Yeah, I don't know what Nvidia's point with this was. I don't know what they were thinking. I'm guessing they just thought AI could do it all, and I'm guessing AI made the code or some shit. I don't know what's going on at their headquarters. Maybe all the money got to their head, and Jensen Huang is like, okay, I'm gonna invest all my money into leather jackets and not do my job. That's probably what he does. He probably looks like at his leather jackets. Whenever he's at his house, he probably barely does his job. He probably looks at pictures of leather jackets while he's at the office. Yeah, I don't get what they're doing. I think it's an insanely big screw up, the DLSS5, and the other DLSS weren't already great. And I'm gonna quickly explain this in like super layman's terms. DLSS is an issue because it's not raw power. That's the problem with it. They can continue to upsell new gen graphics cards for God knows what prices, 2,000 then to 2,500 then 3,000, and the only real area of improvement is the shitty AI cores. That's it. It's gonna have 24 gigabytes still, up to 25 gigabytes, and barely any actual power added onto it. That's the actual issue with this too. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about today. A bit of another quickie because I thought the whole thing was hilarious, especially that comment, how a lamppost is supposed to behave will never not be funny. Okay, yeah, that's what I want to talk about today. So yeah, alright, bye.